Hey guys, it's me Astrid, and I got my bubblegum bitch pink lipstick on today because I'm ready to be a bitch and talk about injustice and inequality in our society today. Specifically, I want to talk to you about something called microaggressions. What's a microaggression, you may ask? I wouldn't be surprised if half of you don't really know what is a microaggression. That's okay. It's time for us to learn. I pulled up this website called juniaproject.com. It looks like a feminist Christian website, which that's cool. But I'm going to quote from their website and define a microaggression. It says Dr. Chester Pierce, psychology professor from Harvard Medical School, first coined this term in the 1970s. He defined microaggressions as a brief and often subtle everyday event that denigrates an individual because they're a member of a particular group. Microaggressions differ from ordinary aggressive acts in that they do not necessarily intend harm. And that's the thing. People think we live in a post-racial society, in a post-gender discriminatory society and all this sort of thing because we don't see it every day. I'm white, I don't see racism, it doesn't happen. I'm a man, I don't see sexism, and I'm not sexist, so it doesn't happen. I'm able-bodied and I don't discriminate against disabled people, so clearly people with disabilities don't face discrimination, and so on and so forth. With thinking like this, and with thinking that we're open-minded and like all worldly and things, we run the risk, being majority group members, of doing things that kind of fall into this category of microaggressions. What are some examples of microaggressions? Well, one could be talking to someone who doesn't look white American-y enough. You could say, "Oh, that's cool, so like, where are you from?" No, I mean like where are you from? Because that implies that you're not part of our society because you look different, so I'm going to make that a thing. It others that person, it makes them feel different, even though maybe they were born and raised here, they're American just like you or me. You're still gonna ask them. It's rude, it's a microaggression. Oh my god, you're so pretty for a insert racial minority group here. Girl. What that does, that puts that person into a box and says, you fit more closely my Western European beauty standards, and you're different from the other members of your group who don't fall into that category. So I'm going to point that out and make you feel like because of your race, I think you're kind of shitty, but you look good, so you're better than all the other ones to me, and fuck you. Another example that I got from this website I just read was, if you talked about going to a doctor's appointment, maybe they would say, oh, so what did he say? Assuming that only a man is going to be a doctor, assuming that all doctors are men when you use gendered pronouns like that. It's just these little things that form our ideas about day-to-day life and about the society we live in that cause problems and kind of suck. What's my microaggression story? I've never experienced microaggressions in my life until this point, and I knew, being a woman going into a STEM field, science, technology, engineering, mathematics field, that I would face this at one point or another because all the women I know talk about it. Alright, so I went into a workshop class. We have workshop classes at my school that allow a group of 5 to 12 students to work on hard problems from a class we're working on together with a peer leader who took the class the last year. And when I walked into this group, I immediately recognized that I was the only woman. Not like one of the few, the only woman in the group, which has never happened to me before. Being that I'm white and straight and able-bodied and so on and so forth, I almost never walk into a room where I'm the only one of me. And being a woman, it's still kind of uncommon to walk into a room where you're the only one of you, because aren't we like 51% of the population? But I walked into this room, it's all men, and immediately I felt uncomfortable. And that made me somewhat relate to people who may be an ethnic or racial minority walking into a room of all white people. So anyway, I walked into this classroom and I think, well, it's gonna be fine. Like, these guys all seem fine, it's no problem. I'm smart, I can hold my own, it's gonna be fine. And everyone seemed pretty nice, everyone was quiet. I taught a workshop in chemistry the last 2 terms, and so I am not shy of talking in a class anymore. I did stuff up on the board, I led my own peers, so All these guys were being really, really quiet, and I felt the need to speak up and make it less painfully awkward in the class. And we were going through the class. No one was obviously hostile to me. No one was saying, oh, this is a woman, fuck her. Oh, you're stupid. Oh, be quiet. Nothing overt like that. Just what happened 2 times, and it's never happened to me before, but every woman I talk to says it's happened to them, is that I was talking, I gave a correct answer, not once but twice, and I was either ignored or interrupted and spoken over. A few seconds later, another guy said the exact same thing that I just said, and our leader said, oh, that's correct, good job. And I'm just like, I just said that. Am I invisible? Am I fucking invisible here? Subconsciously, in our society, we're trained to ignore certain people. If you're in a privileged group, you're not going to listen to a certain person. It's kind of wired into us. So that happened. It wasn't intentional. I wasn't intentionally ignored. I don't think any of these guys are like overtly sexist or think that I should get out of the classroom like if it were the 50s, or bless all the old scientific women of our past because they had to go through a lot more bullshit than me. It came up on me. It happened so quickly that I couldn't process it immediately. But when I did, I felt so fucking mad. I was so mad. I was like, did that really just happen? And it happened twice, and it happened to only me. And I was the odd one out. And that's a microaggression. That's what happens. It sneaks up on you. If you blink, you might miss it. It's not necessarily intentional, but it reminds you that you're in a minority group, you are an other, you are different from the accepted normal group in the class, in the office, in the workspace, wherever you are, and it sucks, and it makes you mad, or it hurts you. It hurt me a little bit because I was saying correct things and being not acknowledged for it, which... That's the thing about microaggressions, is that they happen so quickly in conversation, in your day-to-day interactions, that you don't notice them, and a few seconds later you catch it, but the conversation's already moved on. For me, being a woman, had I jumped in and said, excuse me, you just ignored me, hello, or hey, I just also said that, I might get written off as the domineering bitch. It happens a lot with women of color. If you are a black woman in a conversation and someone says some kind of slight against you as a person of color, if they make a slight about that, if you stand in and say, hey, that's not cool, you're immediately going to be categorized into the angry black woman category, and therefore your opinion doesn't matter because it doesn't go from you as a human, it's coming from this stereotype. And that's what would happen to me. I'm not a woman of color, but I am a woman. And women run the risk of being the bitch if we're assertive. Nicki Minaj says it all. Listen to the word of Nicki Minaj. She's amazing. My boyfriend is a minority group. He looks not white, and so he is not perceived to be white. He doesn't sound American because he has a British accent and so on. We were traveling recently. We came across a couple of people, and in the middle of conversation they said, oh yeah, our city, oh my god, it's full of all these people from this place. And it was talking about Eugene's ethnicity of these people coming in and ruining their city, and they made a racist facial gesture, and it happened in all of 3 seconds. It was just this little shitty thing, and it was so stupefying. It was like, what? Did that really happen? That there was no time to respond. And it was just so unbelievable that someone in our society today would say something that fucking ignorant. But I'm guilty of saying ignorant shit. You're guilty of saying ignorant shit. We've all made mistakes, but that was like very offensive. What can we do about microaggressions in our daily life? First, recognize them. Acknowledge that they exist and acknowledge that you can do them. Be aware of your own behavior and actions and make sure that you're not stereotyping or subjugating or lessening someone else with your speech or actions. I've done it, and it sucks when you have to think like, oh shit, I did that, I need to apologize, or I need to adjust my behavior. The next thing you can do once you're adept at recognizing where's racism and sexism and ableism and all these things in society that subjugate people, where are they? Recognize what microaggressions may occur in other people and be able to more quickly respond. Me as a woman, my action in my class is that I'm going to have to work harder to prove that I'm capable just as much as the men. I'm going to have to be assertive, but not fall into the bitch trap. You can do little things like that. And when you see someone making a microaggression, stand in and say, hey, it's kind of rude to ask someone where they're from when they just told you they're from Cleveland. Hey, did you understand that that compliment you just gave was really backhanded? Hey, let's actually listen to what this person has to say because I think we were ignoring her. Especially if you're a member of a majority group, white, male, straight, able-bodied, and so on, you are able to have more power in what you say. A man stepping in for me and saying, hey, let her talk, is going to have more impact than me saying, hey, let me talk, because people view these two groups differently in our society. That's just how it is. It's not good or bad. It's bad, but it's not always intentional. It's just the way things are. But we can change them. When we take these simple steps in our daily lives to step in and say, hey, let's stop this behavior, or at least let's recognize it, we can make the world a better place. So I hope I've educated you on microaggressions. I hope you know I don't hold any grudge against the men in my class who've done that, because it wasn't on purpose, and I don't think any of them are overtly sexist. It was just a situation that happened. That's the definition of a microaggression. Subtle, happens quickly, and others you. That's what happens. So thanks for watching. I hope I was able to help you gain a better understanding and try to live a more just and awesome life. Bye, guys.